This is the X-Zone Broadcast Network, broadcasting worldwide on broadcast affiliates and satellite program providers, including CNN Broadcast Network, Sirius Satellite Network, Star Media, Good News Radio Network, Angel Broadcast Network, Wiki Broadcast Network, and WPBN TV. For more information on the X-Zone Broadcast Network, visit us at www.xzbn.net.
All Hit Radio.
Welcome to the X-Zone, a place where fact is fiction and fiction is reality. Now, here's your host, Rob McConnell.
Welcome back to the X-Zone, everyone. My name is Rob McConnell, and we're coming to you from our broadcast center in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. Worldwide toll-free, 1-800-610-7035. My email address is xzone@xzoneradiotv.com. On all social media sites, X-Zone Radio TV. And our main website, where you can actually go and listen to past shows, is www.xzoneradiotv.com. X-Zone Nation, my guest this hour is Fiona Finn. She's the author of Raw, One Woman's Journey Through Love, Loss, and Cancer. Now, 5 months ago, into her long battle with stage 3 colon cancer, Fiona Finn's husband left her on Father's Day, leaving her and her 3 children penniless. Now, although that was one of the most painful days in her life, it spurred her to adopt a new mission in life. Now, on a personal crusade, she is leading women, and she is a leading advocate for women who are 7 times more likely to get abandoned shortly after their diagnosis of cancer. Now, according to the Cancer Journal, going back to July 30th, 2009, the divorce rate is approximately 21% for cancer-stricken wives, compared to 3% when husbands get ill. In an effort to get the word out of this disturbing information and to help those affected by it, Fiona gives an insider's account on how in sickness and in health can be lopsided, and in her new memoir, Raw, One Woman's Journey Through Love, Loss, and Cancer. Joining me now is Fiona Finn. Fiona, welcome to the X-Zone.
Hi, Rob. How are you today?
I'm doing just fantastic, thank you. First of all, congratulations on your book, number one.
Thank you.
Number 2, I'm sorry that you had to go through so much, but I am glad that you're with us today, stronger than ever, being in front of that line, that growing line of women behind you in a crusade. Job well done.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Take me back to, that day it all tumbled in.
I think, it was a 2-part tumble. The first was when I was diagnosed with colon cancer on December 14th of 2009.
Right.
It was unexpected. I was 42 years old. Colon cancer did not run in my family. I am a mother of 3. I was married at the time almost 10 years to my spouse. Then within 5 months, once I was into my treatment, had my surgery where the tumor was removed, had gone through radiation. My husband left on Father's Day.
Why did he leave?
It's a great question. I can say, at least for my marriage personally, that we had some problems in the marriage. We were together almost 10 years, months away from turning, our 10-year anniversary. And we definitely had problems, but I'm extremely loyal. That's part of my nature. I really felt like when I took that vow, I'd stay with my husband. It was my second marriage, and I really wanted to make it work. But those problems, up until that point, had not made him leave. So I feel personally that there was 2 parts going on. One, possibly he feared losing me with the cancer. And secondly, he was a bit narcissistic, to be honest, and he didn't want to take care of me.
You know, my mom had cancer of the cervix when I was a very young boy. And my dad, God bless him, he's still around. Mom and dad are still around. They're in their late 80s. They still live in the same house that they've lived in for 60-some-odd years. He stood by her.
Right.
He did everything, God bless him. And to hear that you went through something like this and your husband left you, no matter what the reason is, okay, here you are, battling a disease, fighting for your life, and he ups and goes. And you know, when you said, you kind of said something that made it sound like you were giving him a way out, you know, and I don't think that anyone deserves that.
That could be the codependent in me. I still try to, you know, give an escape plan. It was a very painful time in my life for him to leave.
I don't doubt it.
It was unexpected. I really thought of him because I had had a very small health issue while we dated, but he was wonderful during that. So to me, I thought that there wasn't going to be a problem with him taking care of me, but obviously, you know, he left. And then to find out from my oncology team later that it's pretty common that, you know, 21% of husbands leave within 6 months of diagnosis of their wife getting cancer versus 3% when a wife gets ill.
All right, stand by. You and I have to take our first commercial break. Fiona Finn is my special guest this hour, Exonation. She's the author of Raw, One Woman's Journey Through Love, Loss, and Cancer. www.fiona-finn.com is her website. I'll be back on the other side of this 2-minute commercial break with Fiona as we continue here in the X Zone from our broadcast center in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. Don't go away. Modern Esoteric, Beyond Our Senses by Brad Olson, consummates the lifology story about where humanity originates. It is the lost continents, the primitive wisdom, the mythos of creation, and the rethinking of ancient history as we are taught in academia. There is much more to the story than what we have been told. As this is the first book in the Esoteric series, Modern Esoteric starts at the beginning of time and accelerates up to this modern age. Future Esoteric is book 2 in the series and takes a forward-looking position ahead of today with an open and honest examination of the ET issue and various unexplained phenomena. To discover the writings of author Brad Olson, visit www.bradolson.com. That's www.bradolson.com. Named one of the world's greatest psychics, Elizabeth Joyce is now giving readings worldwide via Skype. Elizabeth Joyce is recognized for her clairvoyant ability to help find missing persons, her analysis of dreams, past life regression work, mediumship, and her accurate predictions. Elizabeth has been a frequent guest on the X Zone radio show with yours truly, Rob McConnell, now for several years. For an appointment with Elizabeth Joyce, call 201-934-8986 or Skype at elizabeth.joyce. And for more information, you can always visit Elizabeth Joyce online at www.new-visions.com.
Do you have a dis-ease that you would like to alleviate through a natural means? Have you been contacted by angels, ghosts, or even extraterrestrials and want to validate these experiences? Or would you simply like to speak with someone who can help you find your life's purpose? I'm Dr. Joseph Mara, and I'm offering my services free of charge for first-time clients contacting me during the month of April. These free consultations include angel card readings, guided meditations, life coaching, and energy healing. If you have always wanted to explore these types of experiences but were skeptical or simply could not afford them, Then take advantage of this free special offer. Contact me through my website, aguidinglight, spelled LITE.com, to schedule your consultation today. Until then, I offer you love, light, and laughter.
Exonation, Fiona Finn is my special guest this hour. www.fiona-finn.com is her website. And as I've said a number of times, the name of her book is Raw, One Woman's Journey Through Love, Loss, and Cancer. When your husband left, did his leaving affect your treatment? What were the repercussions, the setbacks that you suffered? I mean, besides the emotional shock and horror that your husband of nearly 10 years just walked out.
Certainly it did have an effect on my treatment. Instead of focusing all of my energy on my battle with cancer, I had to refocus it. I didn't have to. I did refocus it on trying to save our marriage and plead with him to stay in the marriage. Just like other women that have been through this, I didn't complete my chemotherapy the second round, and I had a much higher rate of hospitalization. I was in and out of the hospital. And I guess, my spirits were low. I really didn't care if I lived or died if my spouse wasn't going to stay with me and our children.
Unbelievable. Now, why do you think men leave women at a rate of 21%, and yet women leave men at a rate of 3%?
I think it's an interesting question. I don't think that I have the answers. I have read a lot about it. Some will say that, again, that men don't want to actually deal with losing the spouse. So it's kind of a cut and run before they end up feeling all of that pain. Another reason is they're not caretakers. Traditionally, that's not their role. So nurturing, it's only within 6 months they leave, normally that quickly. But, they just don't want to take on that role. So those were some of the things I found. I can't speak for all, but I really think it's a disturbing secret, and it's predominant in the United States.
So let me ask you this. How did you turn things around when your spouse left you?
Definitely, I think I started turning things around when I started journaling. It really helped me while I was in chemo and sitting in the chair and I was getting my treatment to just, put all of that emotion and all of that upset onto the pages, let it flow out of me. And actually, that's when I started my memoir, and that was extremely healing. Also, my children. I mean, even though I was heartbroken, I still wanted them to have a life, to have, more than what was going on and the example that was being set in front of them. I mean, I'm raising sons. I want them not to take their vow lightly if they're going to be married.
You're very open about your 20 years of dysfunctional, abusive relationships and applying that to writing. Be honest with me. Do you have any fears about being so confessional?
I think it's normal to have fears about putting everything out there. As I said before, I found out through treatment that I'm codependent. It runs in my family. In that, codependents constantly keep secrets, constantly want everybody to think everything looks pretty and perfect on the outside. So, in being so confessional and putting everything out there, I had to force that out of me. But it felt really therapeutic, and I hope it helps others.
I understand that you give inspirational talks about surviving cancer. Can you give us an example?
I mentioned this before. A lot of times when you're standing up in front of a crowd and you may be at a Relay for Life event or another cancer event, they will have survivors come up. They'll also have people to speak of those that did not make it in their journey and battle. But when they get up there, there's almost an expectation that you're supposed to be extremely happy, extremely grateful for your life. And it's not that you're not. It's just that, once you're done a cancer treatment, a lot of different parts of your life are still a mess. Financially is usually one of the big things. Emotional pain. You're still not 100% to what you were before the cancer. So I really feel like it's so important to be honest that, I don't have to blow rainbows out my bum for people to understand that I am grateful for my life. But I think being realistic that you're going to have good days, you're going to have bad days.
You openly explore